All right, what's up, everyone? We're here, Smash University. We're going to do another recap. This time, Low Tide City, MkLeo stacking up the dubs, man. Another first place for Leo from losers though. So
Yeah,
it's interesting because we're seeing Leo come back in this. I wouldn't say like completely dominating fashion, but it's pretty much like in terms of consistency. At this point, I think it's fair to say Leo is just number one or kind of back on top, so to speak, right? I don't think he
yeah,
really left because again, every tournament he at least gets second, and in terms of just comparatively to other players, it, it's you can kind of argue Esam, but like Esam just hasn't gone to as much tournaments, but Leo has gone to like pretty much every tournament, hasn't placed underneath second place, and
yeah. It's
then
pretty
also
ridiculous when
stacking
you
up
think about it.
W's too, right? So it's
Yeah,
like pretty wild in terms of consistency, but yeah, really good, good stuff to Leo, man. He's really figuring out how to use his trifecta of characters. I feel like the Aegis is didn't perform well this tournament, at least, just from what I saw.
yeah,
And I honestly don't think he really needs it. I feel like everyone was just like, oh, it's a sword character, so Leo can play it well. I feel like Leo can almost play any character really well, but in terms of like his strengths, he really likes to play like the slow pace, like floaty spacing sword characters right now. Like not like because Mithra doesn't feel like that. You're moving more with Mithra than you are like abusing your floatiness in
yeah,
the air
for
slash
sure.
range, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something like kind of closer akin to like a Roy, right? Kind of like a combo centric, in your face kind of character, right? You're not spacing out. You're not playing that super. Like obviously they're great neutral, but their neutral is great because like their movement, right? Like disjoints
Right.
plus like their crazy movement that's going on. So it's yeah, the character itself doesn't really fit Leo style, despite like well, Leo likes anime and different things like that too. And
Right.
we're like,
Right.
oh, anime swords, he must like he'd be good, but it just seems like the comparative to the rest of his characters, it's not there. But it's great that the Joker is getting back into form because
Yes.
now he's able to
Definitely need
play
that
the
one.
one too.
That's the
Yeah,
one you need.
yeah, yeah.
We
You need
all
that.
knew it. We all knew. And I mean, he knew it too. It's not like he was hiding
Mm,
it, but
yeah,
it that is a character that takes a little bit more upkeep in my opinion than a character like Byleth. I think for Wi-Fi, Byleth was a really good character for him. He just like played it really safe, right? Maybe didn't win all the Wi-Fi tournaments, but it kind of just like ended up because playing a fast-paced character is the struggle on Wi-Fi. So played a slower-paced character, and he always liked Byleth anyway. And then kind of like throughout Wi-Fi, he kind of realized like, oh wow, this character is a lot stronger than what the rest of the Smash community is making it out to be, right?
yep,
Leo realizing like things like Nair and even just he we're in such a cool part of the meta because every time I watch a tournament, I just feel like I'm learning so much new stuff about characters. Everyone's
hmm
pushing their character to the absolute limit. Like even like Leo will land straight up airs and combo it, or like go into like he'll either combo it into up B or like they'll have to air dodge because they definitely can't swing. You're not gonna like outrange the up B, right? So it like forces the air dodge, then Leo can like continue the juggle past then, right? So it's like Nair is a good combo if he catches your jump with up air, and
yep,
the thing that impresses me the most about Leo's Byleth is how he's able to like just play really patient, and even if his opponent has an extreme amount of mobility, he will take his time, not feel like he has to do like a burst option to break up the mobility. He'll just slow play it and play like really reactive and kind of know when and where his opponents want to pick their spots to fight. And even though Byleth super lacks mobility, he's still able to force people to interact with Nair, right? Because
hmm
when you look at Byleth, it's like, oh, well, Nair's broken, I'm just not going to interact with it. But he finds openings for it, and it's really impressive.
yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, it's one of those things where I think one of the great things for him is you said he finds the openings. Obviously, when you're going up against Byleth, like you don't want to be in the range of the fair or bear either, right? So it's like it's one of those things where you kind of want to be. You feel like you want to be a bit more closer, right? So you don't have to
Right.
deal with those tools because otherwise you're just swinging for the fences at you, and fair and bear are pretty damn safe, at their range, right? So it's something you want to get in, but he's waiting for you to do that. Like, please come in so I can hit you with these nairs. And especially a lot of people right now. I mean, he does some mix ups here and there with that nair, for sure. but people are like they're really struggling with how to beat that move, and he's just going to take that all the way to the bank until they adapt, and then he can add the extra layer onto the nair, right? So
It's so hard to react.
characters,
He's
mhm,
very ambiguous when he fast
he
falls it.
is,
So like he'll nair. Sometimes he'll ride the whole nair out. Then like he'll start fast falling it like Paulo nair. But the thing about fast falling a Byleth nair is the earthquake hitbox, or like there's an additional hitbox when you hit the ground. That's the last hit.
yeah,
So
hmm
it's like very hard to react to because it's not like you're just waiting out Apollo Nair and then on the last hit it's like okay this is so it's like it's a very punishable move, but like you almost have to anticipate when the fastball is going to happen and stuff like that, and that's where and Leo converts off of it so well, man.
yeah,
But like, I guess
yeah,
let's talk
not
about second,
absolutely,
right? Second
yeah,
place, the
man.
Buzz. The Buzz has, yeah, I mean, he even tweeted, he's like, man, I just don't got it no more. So he actually came through, and I I will say it was like a tad bit of bracket luck. I mean, bracket luck is always a thing. I'm definitely not taking away anything from the Buzz, but he definitely dodged Tweek, which Tweek has been doing well against him post quarantine. I don't think it's impossible for the Buzz to beat Tweek by any means, but he fought Luigi in winners semis, and I don't think Elegant has taken a set off the Buzz ever. Maybe he did it once in Smash. I don't.
I think there might maybe one, but I
So
think for the
maybe
most
one in
part,
Smash 4, but I don't think in
yeah,
Ultimate.
yeah,
I don't think. I
yeah,
could be wrong. Even if it, even if he has taken a set, like the Buzz and Elegant, their matchup spread in terms of just how many sets they've won, it's
yeah,
heavily in
heavily
the Buzz's
favoring the
favor.
bus.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean
hundred
all the
percent.
characters that the Buzz plays just does well against Luigi, in my opinion. He
Yeah,
actually went with
I
the
agree.
Rosalina, and I mean
hmm
Rosa has traditionally done well versus Luigi in 4 and in Ultimate. So but I will say Elegant also impressed me this tournament. Well, I guess we'll talk about Elegant when we get to him. But yeah. So the Buzz did fantastic. He took a set off of Leo in Winners Finals, which is huge. This the first time the Buzz has ever taken a set off Leo in
Yeah.
Ultimate,
So right up to this point, they were 12-0,
something like
I
that. Yeah.
believe. Yeah, because I remember someone made a tweet where like, 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 there's no like, not even Leo could 13-0 to Buzz, like they're like some stupid meme, right? But honestly, like, I mean, if there's a person that's gonna be your demon, like, might as well make it number one. You know what I mean? So it's like it is what it is. But yeah, really exciting to see him kind of be able to pull forward. And not just like you said, like a little bracket luck here and there, but um, really kind of a better model of consistency that we're used to seeing from the Buzz. It seems like he's been a bit shaky, but I'm glad to see him kind of embrace these characters. Right? It always felt like he just didn't know if he wanted to play Rosa or if he wanted to play Min Min or this and that. And it just seems this time around he's like the Min Min looked a lot better,
Yeah.
a lot better. And his other characters are in the deck. Like he understands, like, okay, this is my crew. These are who I'm playing with. Right
Right.
now, I'm looking at the matchups. I need to tighten up Min Min so she can actually be a factor instead of just getting ran over. And he can really abuse that. And you're seeing that here. So I'm really proud of him to take that extra step now that we're not flying. So he doesn't fall behind. And you were able to see it in the tournament, so it was good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean we saw Joker come out. Leo. I'm glad that Leo believes in Byleth, but he also understands that there's matchups that like you don't even do it. Like don't even
Yeah.
try. Like I mean it might work, who knows? But Byleth Min Min sounds horrible, like
Yeah.
horrible.
hmm
So Leo, I'm glad that Leo has faith in Byleth and wants to show
Yeah.
everyone how good Byleth is, but he also understands that there are specific limitations to certain weaknesses, and knows when to bring out the Joker. And it kind of feels like Byleth is it feels like Byleth is gonna be the bridge. I'm not too sure in terms of his like long macro plan if he's trying to eventually go back into you know I feel like he's just gonna go with Joker Byleth. I feel like in this game, like two characters
Yeah.
is pretty optimal. You can stretch down to three, but it gets pretty dicey with three in my opinion. You just
Yeah.
have so much options, and it can be pretty overwhelming if you don't have a plan for like specific characters or specific
Yeah.
players.
I,
But
I,
yeah,
I like it. I think it's a great selection by him. I think it's funny because Byleth, as a character, some people were saying top tier and all this crazy nonsense. Like this character's not top tier. Obviously Leo just doing his damn thing. I have the character in high tier at best, and but like one of the main things is like you also need to look at the matchups that he plays the character with, right? In terms of people who can actually beat him, right? Like
Right.
like when he's using the character, like if he's going through everyone else, like he just is the skill gap is just there, so he's just going to beat them regardless.
Right.
But one of the quintessential things that I've really loved seeing from him is again like it's been great for him to use Byleth because he's like, hey, some people they don't know how to interact with me when I'm at the ledge, right?
Yep.
Obviously, you and I had a talk with Ethan the other day, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like he's like, oh, I'm going to side B, and a lot of these characters can't really do much about it, right? And if they can, like it's something that's you know so circumstantial that a lot of these people just don't know yet, right? They haven't taken time to really learn and break that down. So it's like little things like that. So it allows him to get back to stage because the time, and it just, I think that helps with Leo's overall consistency because, robbery happens off stage, right? Robbery happens off stage, it happens near the ledge. And it's cool that he's been able to just like, all right, well, I'm just going to use Byleth for these things. And like, no one's robbing me, right? If they go around, I'm safe off stage, I'll reversal
Right.
up B them, right? If I get to nearby the ledge, you're not keeping me here because I'm gonna air side B, do all these things, do up airs underneath the ledge, and a lot of people just don't know how to deal with it yet. So it allows me to mitigate those circumstances that may make me lose my stocks or may make me lose games, right? And that's because
Right.
that's really what we see a lot of times, right? It's like even Esam when he was able to beat him, we say robbery, but obviously it's a main part of the game. But the edge guarding, right? The edge guarding, the offstage game, right? The gimping. Those were the things like where you're taking MkLeo out of his element. If he's able to mitigate all that other crap and just play neutral, he's gonna body like pretty
Yeah.
much everyone. Like only Tweek comes close to that, So I like the selection with him overall. But I mean, of course, we talked about Leo, we talked about the Buzz. I mean, Mars, man,
Yeah. Mars got
Mars is
third.
here.
Yep,
Yeah,
Mars is got the run back with Meister. Meister had a pretty tough tournament. He ran into Leo again. This time it wasn't so close. He just Leo 3-0'd him, and then he got 3-0'd by Mars in losers. So pretty rough. I mean, just hard game and watch matchups, right? And it just I don't know. He's got to find an answer to Leo, and I mean this is gonna be a very common story for a lot of like top 10 players where it's like, damn, I just can't beat Leo. Like, everyone else, like I feel like I have a chance, but Leo
yeah,
gets shut out every time, right? Everyone's still looking for like their one win on Leo, which is, I mean, when you see people beat Leo and they just pop off, it's for a reason. Like it takes years for people to get their
yeah.
one dub on Leo.
Mhm.
Leo did come back and kind of like I wouldn't say like super destroyed the Buzz. There was a couple games that were like last stock, but a lot of two stocks. The Buzz did try the
6-0.
Olimar, but it was a 6-0, yeah. And
Yeah.
but yeah, Mars versus I mean him coming. I mean who did? Let's see here. Oh yeah, the Buzz. Yeah, so the
Yeah, yeah.
Buzz
The
put
Buzz
him
and Leia.
into
Mhm.
losers, and then he went into losers not like super early, but like kind of early. He started top eight in loser side at least, and yeah, I mean all of his matches going through losers was fantastic. He played extremely well. I saw a lot more like confident plays coming out from Mars, and he knew when to like tone it back as well. There was like the dare
Yeah.
against Elegant, and yeah, he just really utilizing ZS as his mobility, and I just it's very nice to see Mars kind of come back to life.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's such a talented player, and for his style of play too, he needs to have that confidence back, right? When he's not playing as confident, when he's kind of sitting back, then it becomes like just kind of run of a mill. There's obviously his skills are still intact, but the thing that's so scary about Mars is the ability how fast he will play, and he'll make those split-second decisions like dude, with confidence. Like
Right.
I'm going to jump off and I'm going to dare you here, and I know you can't get anywhere at this point, so I'm doing it. Like
Right.
I'm not going to wait. Oh, maybe I think I could go for it. No, like in his head, he is already there. It's happening, and when you got to have a certain zeal, right? You got to have a gusto about you, right, to do these things. You can't like so if you are taking a second to think about it, that moment is past. It's done, right? That shot can no longer be taken.
Right.
So Yeah, it's great to see him kind of playing back to his usual self. It seems like he's just kind of fully back now, and the rust is kind of shut off. So good on him. I'm really excited for that because you know what that means. Like regardless of stuff with like Leo, I mean that means hey, now we're gonna have some more challengers coming up. Trying to chase that throne. So I think that's really exciting for everyone, all of us as spectators. And yeah, Mars continues to make it happen, man, and do big plays. Edgar great, Gimp great. Like just love his play overall, man. And I love his play, dude. One of my sons, man, elegant, man.
The Texas power up. He plays better in
Yeah,
Texas.
he
It's
always
true.
does. He always does, man. He has a good time. I don't know what they're doing at these parties, or what are they doing, or are they feeding them? I don't know what it is, but he
He's
is
popping off.
he is having a good time.
Back to back fourth place. I mean, at
Yeah.
Riptide he got fourth place as well with Luigi. Again, we're seeing some solo main players that have very huge blatant weaknesses. I think a lot of people wouldn't put Luigi in top tier. I mean, it depends. I think some people would put him in tier. It's either top or high tier where you put Luigi. Depends on what you value. But Elegance Neutral was phenomenal. There was a handful of things that really stuck out to me. Obviously, Elegant is from my region, so I know a lot about like the character and how he plays particularly, and just his neutral was so good. He did a lot of like empty lining jabs. Luigi is a character with extremely low mobility, so like when Mars and Elegant had to play, it's really tough for Luigi to catch Zero Suit. It's
Yeah.
tough for Luigi to catch a lot of characters. Even
Mm-hmm.
Elegant versus Cosmos. That's another matchup that's like when Mithra Pyra, like usually Mithra is the one you win neutral with more, but like when you can also win the matchup in neutral with Pyra as well, that's when you know the matchup's probably not the greatest because they can just do whatever they want literally and like have no
Mm-hmm.
repercussions. But Elegant did a fantastic job being super patient and neutral, a lot of shielding and like didn't jump the gun. He knew exactly when to do like a rising arrow. He abused players that would fade back to roll and cover like greedy double jumps back to the corner. He would just bait
Mm-hmm.
so many players by cycloning by the corner and like going off of it. So even if it was off of like a ledge jump or something, he can still cyclone, go off the stage. And Luigi's up be so hard to punish because it snaps so quick. So it just created scenarios where it's like, okay, I'm back on the ledge again. That's fine. But even sometimes he would like ledge drop, double jump, and then right into the down B as well because he knows that the other player sees a ledge drop double jump. It's like, oh, he's vulnerable. Like if I hit him, he's dead. And then he uses those kind of scenarios to bait his opponent into down being.
Yeah.
His like obviously Luigi's gonna down be a lot. It's gonna seem like it's mashy or whatnot, but when you have a frame one out, it's you need to like know when and where to use it. And Elegant hit way more down Bs than he got punished for down Bs. So
Yeah.
that's already like a huge sign of him either playing like reading his opponents really well, and on top of that, just reacting when his opponent wants to get a hit. Like, oh, like I know you're coming in, and I know it's not a pump fake. Like, don't be react, right? So
Yeah.
he just played it extremely well, and he created a lot of. He didn't even zero to death a lot of people in top eight. Like, I feel like Elegant has gotten to the point where it's like when he's challenging a certain caliber of player, he just assumes the smash the eye is there, and he just like cashes out and does like optimal like 80% ish combos. He just gets all the damage, and then the way he's been getting his KOs too, like a lot of up Bs out of shield, and uh, even especially versus Tweek, he got a lot of KOs on platform resets. He would set up a
Yeah.
tech chase scenario on the platform, and then either get like a down throw into down B, which on a platform is going to kill a lot earlier, or like sour nair tech chasing into up B. So
Yeah.
very impressive. Again, Luigi does not have a lot of mobility. So the fact that he was able to like play such a good neutral against players at this caliber, at this part of the bracket, they're playing
With
very broken
fast
characters.
characters.
Yes,
Yeah.
mobility is a very important factor. So again, just shout out to Elegant. Really cool to see all these different character meta getting pushed so far.
Yeah, man. Just again, good stuff for him that he's been able to do this consistently now. Hope he just continues moving forward with the character. Like you said, it's awesome too because like I can't stress it enough. Like you said, right, that he is going ahead and he is not going for these zero to deaths. And I think it's great because it also not just is like if it's he's assuming they know the DI or whatever. But even then, I feel like it's just a mentality thing too, right? Where when you get to the point where you don't feel the need of the zero to death, you're not fishing as much. You're not like hoping like, oh, dude, I need that. I hope I
That's
get
not
it. I
my
hope I get
only
it.
win
Right?
condition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
You're thinking about neutral and other things that are more.
exactly
Yeah.
right. Because Luigi has depth in that way, right? We've seen some strong Luigi's pop up here and there through the course of
Right.
Ultimate, right? Where they go ahead and boom, get some crazy zero to death. And like oh, this Luigi just plays high randomly, and then you just won't really see them again, right? Or they'll do well in their regional, or like do well in their local, whatever, and then you don't really see them much outside of that, right? But what Elegant's been able to do is just really flesh out all these other aspects of his character, right? And all these other combo trees. So where it like we see him drop to zero to death, and no one thinks, oh, that's it. It's over, right? And that's also plays on the the psyche of your opponent, right? When you know that, yeah, I didn't get zero to death, but this guy's good, right? This guy's got some tech chases here I may not know about. This guy's got some setups here, like you said, on the platforms, right? And if he grabs me here, I can die early, and that's scarier. Like now that fear isn't at just the 25%, 0 to 25% mark, right? Now you're afraid the entire course of the game you're playing, and I think that goes a long way. Also, Elgin has always been someone who's really big on edge guarding and stuff too, right? And he'll go down there and he will make big plays. Um, I've always been a firm advocate of believing like this game is like going to move more in that direction. People are just going to get better at understanding recoveries and following them and punish them for it. And he continues to do so too. So really good stuff for him to play well. Cosmos doing his thing, right?
Again in top eight. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think what I can't remember if he also got top eight. No, he did not get top eight at Riptide, but he got top eight at Glitch, and then
Mm-hmm.
top eight at this tournament as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff to Cosmos. Solo Aegis definitely
Mm-hmm.
showing the character being really strong. I feel like players we we are seeing a kind of shift in terms of like players knowing what they can like what two frames they can go for, what gimps they can go for. Cosmos is
Mm-hmm.
definitely getting punished off stage like a lot harder,
Mm-hmm.
and essentially once you get the double jump there, it's pretty done for the character for the most part.
Yeah.
uh yeah, I mean, again, just really cool to see the character evolve, getting double eliminated winners and losers by Elegant. So again, I think I would think that that matchup is in favor for Aegis, but again, Elegant just playing extremely well, and not too sure how experienced Cosmos is against Luigi, but now, kind of another character to put on the list in terms of characters you got to
Yeah.
watch out for at top level, because everyone practices or tries to have a wide variety of matchup practice, right? But you are going to generally practice specific matchups more than others, depending on like what the top level meta is, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're all going to follow the meta some way or another, right?
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be hard. And just ultimate in general, like there's just so many characters that are close enough to the point where it's like, man, if I start caring about this character, then I guess I gotta care for this character, right? And sometimes you just take the top tier matchups, like a couple of the high tier ones, and then everything else you're just hoping for the best. You're just hoping you can outskill the opponent, and go from there, and you don't get hit with a sham wow. That's really where Ultimate is right now. I mean, obviously, in time as we continue to play this game, that's going to change, and so people be able to know a bit more, get that more matchup knowledge and do some things there. But yeah, it's going to be hard when you have people kind of similar to the ESAM thing, where it's like, when you don't really have many other people who are specialists doing it at your level, it's just going to be very very hard. A lot of these guys aren't going to be playing against many Luigis until they wind up with the best one at their front door saying knock knock, like who's there. So that's just going to be a hard one, man. But also, of course, tying with fifth, Meister.
Yeah.
Like you said, Meister, hard tournament for him. I say quotations, because guy is a model of consistency, man. He's so damn good. He is
Yeah.
so damn good. And I don't know. It's just, to me, it's still crazy how this guy just went unranked to just being,
The
easy
biggest
top
jump,
10,
I think,
right?
in
Yeah,
history.
yeah.
I
Yep,
think.
the
I'm
biggest
pretty
jump
sure.
by a significant margin. All right, and bless Mexico, man, for showcasing so many talented players. Bringing them to the forefront and doing their thing. So really awesome stuff by him. Standard. He's got his work cut out for him as far as trying to figure out Leo. That's going to be a long one, like you said. Players, it takes some years, takes some time, and especially the player that you play with probably the most. That's just going to be a whole nother level. So hopefully you can figure it out because, like we talked about before, if he's able to figure out Leo, obviously, then there's very few people that are going to stop him. A lot of times it's always Leo at least taking one of his shots, right? Whether it's in winners or losers. So it's a big one there. Goblin being strong. We talk about the Royce out here, and we all know about Cola. Cola is like the rawest Roy. Period. In my opinion, like
Yeah.
he must be like one of the rawest players like in the game. To be honest, like so this is
Yeah.
the way he plays, right?
Yep.
But when you look at consistency, when you look at more of a not like a complete rush mix like scramble situations, like you look at Goblin, right?
Right.
And Goblin definitely like you see it in his playstyle and it echoes in his results, honestly. You'll see Cola kind of fluctuate, and that's not to say like obviously he's still killing it regardless, right? But definitely when it comes to truly their Roy play, you see Goblin kind of be more tempered, and it's allowed him to kind of move forward. I mean, he ended up losing for MVD, so I think in comparison to where he's at right now, that's a kind of rough one there. But I mean, hey, still ends up making it into the top 8. Gets that 7th place. Ends up losing to Mars, which is an interesting one because I do think that matchup is really good for Roy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, it's just a caliber of player that Mars is.
Yep. And Luis, 7th place. So this is Luis's second. Yeah. Let's go NorCal. Second
Yes,
top
sir.
8. The last one was Riptide, showing the Fox Palutena combo. We got to see a decent amount of Fox. He went Fox against Cosmos. Tried a
Mm-hmm.
game of Palu, mainly with Fox. Cosmos was able to be on top there. That's a matchup that I've heard very mixed opinions on from different Fox players. Majority of the Foxes say they like the matchup, um, but it it's weird because then I see Mithra down tilting and it looks like super free and stuff like that, right? I
Yeah,
will say Pyrodare is not as free as like we might have thought in the beginning. So there's definitely some decent mix-up Foxes can do, but
yeah,
Mithra down tilt is very very good against Fox. But the on-stage
yeah,
neutral with Fox, I think the Fox players are doing well in that matchup. Even though Luis like lost, he the matchup still looked competitive regardless, right?
yeah. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I do agree with you that I could see how the Foxes could feel that way. Yeah, you're going to have Pyro Dare, which is going to be strong. I still think people can get better at edge guarding Fox with Aegis in general
Mm-hmm.
because Pyro definitely has some things. But I do think one of the things, of course, when you're going to see from that character is like out of the damage department when it comes to Mithra, right? A lot of times people are just getting scraps and resets. And Fox will be okay with that because he's one of the few characters that can kind of deal with the resets, right? Because he can just get that fast fall air dodge, right?
Yeah.
Neutral air dodge. So like he has a couple tools that most characters don't. That kind of mitigates a lot of the strengths that Mithra has, unless the Mithra is getting like the super guaranteed stuff. But even the super guaranteed stuff, like yeah, some of it gets good damage. You get a starter of a good bear, and you can chain those. You have the right platforms. You're getting 40. You get 50. But then you look at Fox, right? Fox can get 50, 60. If he gets his right platforms, then he could take you to 80, right? So
Right.
he kind of beats out in that department in that way. And if you're not really getting those edge guards, then it's a little harder because you're just scrapping with this character who's just maneuvering and weaving around. Not to say that Aegis can't do anything about it, but I do think that matchup, like you're saying, some people, I intend to agree. Like I do think that matchup is not as hard as it may initially seem. You just think fast, sortie character should just destroy Fox, but it's a little different. And there's definitely some opportunities with even just edge guarding because of just the nature of the character. So yeah, shout out to Luis. I love that he's found that combo, like you said, to Fox and going with the Palu and just like making that work. He's like, all right, I got the Palu in the right spot. Now I can switch back and forth, right? And he's been
Mm-hmm.
very consistent with it. He's one of the few players I've seen that's been like, he just like, oh, I'm going to add this to the character. And he didn't go into any character crisis. He's like, I know what I'm doing. Got this
I
character.
know this
Got my
character's
two
broken.
piece.
It's
Yeah,
not the
right.
character, it's me. Like
Yep,
yada
yep.
yada. Like
Yeah. Exactly. And he just made it happen. So shout outs to him. Such a you know just wise beyond his years, man. And he's always a great player. I'm happy that whenever he's able to travel, I'm get really excited because he's just so good, and it just feels like he just doesn't get to enough tournaments, right? And NorCal is so good. Just being here and kind of experiencing first hand. There's a lot of talented players here. They just haven't gone to spotlight. They never had, outside of traveling down to SoCal, like they don't have those kind of. They didn't have the breadth of regionals like that to scale and all those things. So it's really nice to see them like, hey, there's very, very, very talented players in NorCal, and some people at the time they were arguing that NorCal was better overall, right? And so that's always great to see. But Tweek out there ninth, man, just shy of the top eight.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest like head turner of the tournament in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Yeah,
I feel like Tweek usually doesn't lose to characters like Luigi. I think Elegant played it really well, and it was game five down to the wire. And Diddy Kong has like crazy mobility. I wouldn't say like Diddy Kong destroys Elegant, but I will say that Diddy Kong has a lot more mobility and range than Luigi. So the fact that Elegant was able to pull through and get the win, right? And it was such a close set. So again, good stuff to Elegant. And then after that, this was like really bad bracket luck because Tweek loses to Elegant and then has to go up against someone that he's 0-2 in tournament. So like Tweek and Goblin have played twice before this, and Goblin has taken it over him both times.
yeah,
Shine 2019 and the last DreamHack Atlanta. Those are the two times that Tweek and Goblin has faced off. Goblin has beaten him both those times. So this time went game one Diddy. So this is the first time Tweek tried the Diddy against Goblin. Didn't work out. Tweek switches to Wolf, gets a game, then loses a game, then goes to Wario game four, and loses the game four. It was really like I almost every single one of the games felt really close. Maybe the Diddy Kong one wasn't too close. I can't like
yeah,
fully remember game one, but games two, three, and four were pretty much last lock, last hit.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't even think the switch to Wario was necessarily bad. Goblin just played it really well. So
yeah.
kind unfortunate roll there for Tweek,
Mm,
and I mean this is the first time post quarantine we've seen him place outside of second. It kind of felt before this tournament, it kind of felt like a tug of war between Leo and Tweek, right? And then like right off the bat, like Tweek gets the W, then Riptide comes, Leo gets the W, and then we go into glitch. Leo gets second place, but Tweek didn't go, and then this tournament kind of like Leo feels like he's making the gap bigger and bigger between first and second, so to
yeah,
speak. So,
for sure.
and
It
like
feels
we
like it
don't even
almost
know
kind
who's
of
second at this point, right? Like, so
yeah.
it can be rough. Like I still think I would personally still put Tweak as two,
I would.
but we still kind of don't know, right? There's very little data to go off of, and a ninth is a pretty big hit for a player like Tweak, right?
Right. No, it's true. I mean, and yeah, like you said, that's a really rough bracket luck. Not only is like Goblin been able to beat him on times, in general too, the new character that Tweek has been building on, Roy. I mean, Diddy Kong. I do think that Roy does very well against Diddy Kong. Roy just has a lot of great tools. I think dealing with Diddy Kong. Obviously, a strong character can get the corner carries, can kill Diddy Kong really, really early. One of the things that I think is great, obviously, his low profile dash is going to be really great. Having the speed to kind of get to a banana, depending on where it gets to be. If you see them they go for like flip kick or whatever, like they go for flip or the command grab, like Roy again that has a speed, has a low profile, so he just has overall more time. It's easier for him to react to step back, and we already know step back forward smash is a thing, and that's hits like a truck. Step back side B, all these kind of things. So, um, yeah, I just think that Roy does very, very well in this matchup, and of course, is going to kill really early. So if you get some right reads on Diddy Kong, the character just explodes, and then in neutral, it's like not too bad, right? So, um, yeah, I think that's always been kind of a interesting matchup in my opinion. And
Oh, I
so, yeah,
remember the
that's
first
cool.
first game. Goblin hit him with he read his roll and dashed back, did a turnaround jab, and killed him with side B at like 50 or 60 or something
Yeah,
like that. Like the like the delay one that they after the jab they jump. It's like pop pop. ba
Yeah. Ba ba ba
ba.
ba. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, so that I remember that happening. I think that was on the last stock, but yeah. I mean, regardless, Tweek brought out the arsenal. I think it's a blessing and a curse to have a bunch of different characters.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen the Wario in a long time. I don't know how often Tweek plays Wario nowadays, but I definitely feel like if you're gonna play Wario now, like you got to combo like Gluto. That's what it feels like. Like
Yeah.
you can still make it work fundamentally and stuff like that. And Tweek did get like one waft. He got one half waft confirm and then missed the other one because it, like. But at the thing was the second half waft confirm, like he was so high of a percent, he was probably gonna get it. So he could have like saved it for a waft out of shield and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even just like Nair 1 to Nair 2 doesn't always connect, and kind of like knowing exactly when, where, and what characters that works on, it's such a big deal. Because,
Yeah.
you know,
You have to know that.
yeah, because
You
like
have to
you can
know
get reversaled for like doing a Nair out of shield, but it doesn't connect
that.
into the
Right.
Nair 2, and then
Yeah.
that really just like generally
Yeah.
sucks and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
regardless, yeah, I mean, overall, it's just still a fantastic tournament. Shout outs to some of the upsets too. I think there was a Kazuya player that got ninth, Burr.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
I
was
was
really
supposed to
cool to
say
see.
Burr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Burr took it over
Burr's
Send
solid.
3-2,
Yeah.
which is interesting because I would think Kazuya doesn't do too well versus Ness, but probably just played it really, really well.
Yeah. I mean, Kaja doesn't do well until he does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's one of those
So
characters
he gets
where
the hit.
once he gets a hit, then it doesn't matter. So however you find your way there, maybe harder or not, but just close it out. Yeah, so I mean, good stuff to him. Also MVD, MVD going in ninth.
Yeah,
I just have not seen that from him for a while, right? So it's kind of cool to see him there. Still sponsored by Thunder Gaming, like the lone. He's at the last Thunder Gaming person
Thunder.
standing, man. Shit,
Feel the
Thunder.
thunder.
13th base mage.
Yeah, I was just like
Base mage. So shout out to base mage,
with
man.
solo
Because
jigs, man.
yeah,
That's
solo
crazy.
jigs. That's insane. And the thing about it too is even since Summit, he went paid for the VIP to get to the VIP, and like he went there
To
to
grind.
grind. He went there to grind and be the best player he could be. And you're seeing that in his offline results. Like that's so sick. That's such a great story, right? And I feel like he doesn't get nearly enough accolade for what he's been able to accomplish with the character, and it's really his dedication to the craft. He's like, all right, I want to go to the next step. How am I gonna get to the level of these players? I'm gonna go to the places where I can play them. Right? I'm gonna grind it out at a big event, and I'm just gonna put my foot forward and do the best I can. And he's able to do some stuff. So I mean, really, really great stuff by him. Chag also just being a very solid player throughout. Right? No surprise there. Interesting to see. We got Dark Wizzy off in 13th.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
um,
starting to come back.
playing it back in life, right? So that's
Obviously,
nice.
he had a game 5 with Mars in winners, top 32.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had some close sets, and I think he's just getting back into form, so to speak. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because Dark Wizzy is someone that we used to consistently see in a lot of these top eights, and slowly but surely he's making his way back. Obviously, not the placing he wanted this tournament, but you know, it will all come with time, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. And then of course you have Fatality, doing it with the Captain Falcon, always working hard. You had to deal with Diddy Kong, and then also had to deal with the Game and Watch. That's going to be a rough one.
Back to back roughies.
Yeah, man, can't really do much about that. Army Ollie, Athema, and then of course Sin Spencer. Him losing to, like you said, Bird kind of is an interesting one.
Yep.
But again, if he gets a hit, he gets a hit, and still relatively new character, and has a lot of iframes on things too, right? So like when it comes to being at the edge and those kind of things, I can see that being really rough. And you can get hit at very low trajectories, right? You're getting hit with like Gates of Hell, right? Like you're getting hit with that F tilt and stuff. You are all the way down the blast zone, and those are fairly easy kills for Kazuya to line up. So that may be something in a way too. Despite also just being light in general, to the point where you need electrics to die from that, right?
Bayonetta coming out, Limo 17th, and I think Shadow PR with a mix of Bayo
Yeah,
and
Shadow PR.
Yeah, Shadow PR turned a lot of heads at the last Genesis. He got pretty he placed pretty high with solo Bayo.
Hmm.
This time with the Bayonetta and the Aegis. So interesting to see these different characters really coming out from the woodworks, you know?
Yeah, man. And I think one of the cool things for me personally is seeing when you look at Lima, right? Who Lima lost to, right? You know, Lima losing to Aaron and then
Probably
losing to
win Diddy.
Luis, right?
Yep.
You know, and um, like just losing the seventh and ninth, right, to getting to where he was.
Yep.
Very very talented player. You know, love him or hate him, whatever you want to say. Like he's very very talented.
Went game 5
Very
against
very
Luis.
yeah,
Bayonetta Palu. Very
dude.
impressive.
Very very impressive. That is a very rough matchup, man.
I saw
And
some cool confirms. Honestly,
yeah,
did landing? I saw one time it didn't connect, but the idea was there, and I don't. I think he got it later on in set too. But like falling fair one into the ground into jab, he was like going for stuff like that, like
yeah,
trying to like set up into jab because of the jab buffs and stuff like that. It
yeah,
was for me, it's always interesting to see like the damaging combos are good too. Obviously, you need to have those, but seeing how Bayonettas take the stock is what interests me more in this game because it's not
oh,
as
by far,
accessible, from before. So,
yeah. That's the most exciting thing, honestly, with the character. I feel like in this game, right? Getting these kind of unique extensions where it's just like, you'll see some people go for fair one to fair two fast fall
right,
into an up tilt potentially, depending on where they get them on their DI, and then to a bear to get a kill. Lima is very, very good, obviously, with his, the quality edge guards. He really abuses that, and that's a big thing. Bayo has to abuse the edge guard in this game, and you can't really just be like, oh, well, I'm just going to hope to do the pinwheel up air and just fall down. Like,
right,
yeah, you'll get some kills certain that way, but when you get to the higher level, like that's just not going to be enough. And then next time around, they'll just react to you and hit you. It's really easy to hit her out of it. But he's someone who'll be out there, bobbing and weaving, come back, refresh his jumps, come back again, hit you with a bear. I love sometimes he'll go out there and he'll ABK just for movement to get out there to hit you with a nair or hit you with an up
yeah,
B
yeah,
and use it like almost as a shine. So like just hits him out there. Sometimes he'll do the extended bullet arts, witch twist, which means that you get hit at a lower trajectory, so it makes it harder for you to recover. Just all
hmm,
these little nuances, right? Especially like if you play Bale, where you're just like, dude, this guy's good. This guy's
right.
so good, and
And if you somehow
making
slip
this switch
past him, he
happen.
can maybe use the oh wait, no, if well you can use a second ABK if you don't hit the first one. I can't
No,
remember.
no, you can't. So like he'll only like and that's the crazy thing about it. So like he literally like he's
Oh,
out
I
there
see, I see.
and he
Like
has
so
no
he doesn't
ABKs.
have any ABK.
Right, he has no
So he has
ABK. So
double
like
jump air dodge, or like, well, he'll have
yeah,
two up Bs and then double.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
exactly. So he'll use those, kind of come back. Sometimes what he'll do is he'll do the ABK out there, then he'll do a B reverse witch twist. So then he can go and just threaten with bear, then
Right.
jump back, all these different things. So a lot of cool things that he does, like that like really makes these able to have to push the character, which is honestly I feel like that's how it should be, right? The character is based off a character who's supposed to be insane combos and like supposed to be like their game is based on finding the cool hard combos, like a Dante, right? So I do like that they kind of have to work for that shit and they make it happen. And a lot of them have been doing a lot of cool new conversions and just edge guarding. It's been sick. And then we have here Wadi, man. Of course, in 25th, Wadi. I mean, he's doing it with the Mewtwo, man. I love him showing signs of life for that character. Really,
Yep.
really cool character. I want to see if he's able to kind of break back into that higher echelon. But I mean, there's so many good players, man. Mudace is coming back to life here. Cola, of course, even Cola not getting into the top 8. Like, we all know what he's capable of. Man, it's this tournament was sick. It was really, really sick to watch. I tried to tune in as much as I could for it. But like I thought it was really, really incredible tournament. It seems like we've been getting a lot of those coming out ever since we've been back in offline, and I don't think it's just a nostalgia. Like I think people are just playing that much better. People are hungry, man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, for
dude, the
sure.
diversity is so sick. Like, dude, look at this, man. Look at all the different characters that we got here, man. It's dope.
It really goes to show how like balanced this Smash game is comparatively to others because I mean, you can theory craft how like how you think of how balanced the game is, but even just like the results are there.
Yeah,
This is by far the most diverse Smash game in terms of results. Like I don't
yeah,
even think there was, I mean, there's like kind of doubles, like double characters in top eight, but like more kind of like secondaries or pockets compared to mains kind of thing. But
yeah.
yeah, sick tournament, and yeah, I mean, I think that's it for us for now. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Peace.